So this is Pokemon TCG Pocket, which is a game where you collect cards of cute girls. And then there's also like these horrid little creatures everywhere. I don't really get what that's about, but you can fight with them, and that's what I'm doing now. If you don't know how any of this works, you don't know anything about this game, don't worry, it is made for children. So you should be able to pick up things pretty quickly as we go along. The deck I'm using now was built around Mallow, who is one of the cutest girls in the Pokemon franchise. I really like Mallow. I'm not sure if she's top 5, but she's definitely top 10. She's from Sun and Moon, and Sun and Moon just had so many cute girls in it. But onto the actual deck itself. I built it around Mallow, like I said, but I'm using Execute, Alolan Executor, and Serena, which is a very interesting combination, as you'll see in a bit. I go first here, which is quite terrible when I'm running Execute, because Execute really likes going second, so you can attach an energy, and then get another energy through its move, and then by the 4th turn, you can just swing with Alolan Executor. But because I went first, I'm not going to be able to do that, and our poor little Execute is going to take some hits if I don't do anything about it. Which I'm not sure if I do, I'm pretty sure I don't. I do have my Bond Suite and a Rare Candy in hand, so if I get Serena in this next card pull during the next turn, then I am so in. And I do! I mean, look at her, holy moly. I know this game's all the women, but whew! I do choose not to use the Rare Candy to evolve my Bond Suite, because, like, I'm gonna need to attach an energy. Like, I only have one energy to use, and I need to get Execute out of there, but I need an energy to get him out of there. So if I use the energy to get him out of there, then Serena doesn't have an energy to attack. I hope that makes sense. The Guzzlord in front of me, this is a Guzzlord Giratina X I'm against. It is quite scary. They have a lot of health, and they do a lot of damage. And Guzzlord in particular, its attack makes you discard energies. Now, thankfully, I didn't have any discarded from me, but if I did, that would have ruined my game plan quite a bit. There's my Mallow. I got a full art Mallow card. Thank God. I saved all my hourglasses since I installed in case they were going to release Sun and Moon, and then they did. And then I spent all of them trying to get Mallow and Lana and Lillie, all the cute Sun and Moon girls. So now, my eggs are ready to attack, but I don't have an Executor in hand, so not really much I can do here. In fact, my opponent's going to do a fun little trick there and just immediately obliterate my eggs with a Tyrannical Hole. Tyrannical Hole? No, don't do it. It's too easy, right? It's too easy to make that joke. It's fine though, it's not that bad, because even though I spent so much time, there's the Alolan Executor, that's cool. It's fine though, because even though I spent so much time getting, my eggs ready, Serena can just come in, and I'm actually in a pretty good spot. He can't KO my Serena, and I can heal her if need be, and because she only takes 1 energy to attack, she's ready immediately. I do only get 1 flip here. Serena's attack is you flip 3 coins, and for every heads, you get 50 damage. So it's a potential 1 energy for 150 damage, which is great. In fact, because Guzzlord here is weak to grass, which Serena is grass type, if I get all 3 heads, then even if he's at full health, I just obliterate him. I do quite like decks where they're really reliant on coin flips. I don't know, I like, this game is very luck-based anyway, so I like any deck that can really play into that aspect, you know? So here's Mallow. Good, really good card. Completely full heals as Serena. But it does discard any energy attached, but because Serena only uses 1 energy anyway, I can just attach another one, and then get 3 heads and completely delete their freaking Guzzlord from existence. What an ugly mon. It's pretty funny, but it's so, like, disgusting. Like, it's like the embodiment of gluttony, and I hate it. Here, there's Giratina, but I am not at all frightened about it. Because Giratina, he takes Psychic Energy to attack, and this guy is only running Dark Energy. Now, the reason he's doing that is because Giratina has an ability where if you end your turn, you can, yeah, like right here. He ends his turn and he attaches a Psychic, but he would need to do that 3 times before he can attack. Now, it is very possible I do just roll, like, 0 damage 3 turns in a row, but as you can see here, I'm doing some 5s. So, that's pretty good. He does have a scary little alligator in the back, which I never see. I don't know why you would use Giratina and Guzzlord, but then also have, like, this weird off-meta stuff. Like, if you're gonna use meta stuff, don't try to be cute, you know? Just use the stuff that works. Don't go halfway meta and then like, ooh, here's a fun card for funsies. No, just don't do that. He does kind of screw up here, though. He doesn't realize that I just need 1 heads to kill his little crocodile man. So unless I hit the 1 in 8 and get all tails, he's kind of screwed. And evidently he gets very screwed because I hit more than 1 tails. And that's the end of this guy's deck. You don't see Guzzlord Giratina often, but evidently that's for a reason. They don't really synergize together too much at all. But there we go, he won. God, I just want to sink my teeth into Serena's voluptuous hip. My next match is against a Skarmory Solgaleo deck, which is easily my least favorite out of all the staple meta decks, because it just has such a good early game, and so many of the decks that I build are based around slowly building things up and getting mons evolved and, you know, trying to use stuff that can easily die in 1 or 2 attacks from the stupid bird you see in front of me. It does 50 damage if it has a tool attached, and it almost always has a tool attached. So really, really bad matchup for me. Thankfully, I do have my Bond Suite, so if I pull a Serena in like the next turn, then I am ready to attack. And I also have a Leaf Cape attached to it, which means that I can survive any stupid 50 damage attacks it wants to throw at me. Well, I can survive 1, I guess, but I think that, like, I may have pulled, like, garbage too, because I have none of my mons, but I think he pulled garbage as well, because normally at this point in the game, I'm facing a giant, stupid lion after being torn apart by a stupid, dumb metal bird. But because my Bond Suite still has health, and I'm not facing a lion, I'm assuming he... Is the term bricked? Is he bricked up? Is that the phrase? I finally do pull a Serena and an Execute, so I don't even have to waste my second energy here. I am gonna evolve her right away. It is unfortunate that the Skarmory is at 60, because that means I need to hit 2 heads if I wanna kill it. Let's see if Serena wins my love. You got 1, 2, 3! She wins it by quite a lot. It's a little bit overkill, but that's fine. Serena knocking out that Skarmory is actually so good for me, because now I get to save both of my full heals for when he inevitably sends out his giant pet lion. He does end up putting his Skarmory down here, and he does end up attaching a poison barb to it, which is a little unfortunate, because now if I hit him, I'm gonna get poisoned. And because the deck isn't really built for retreating, that poison's gonna stick around. He finally brings out his lion, and it has 200 health. What the hell? And then it does 120 damage. It does deal like a pittance of damage back to itself, which sometimes matters, but for the most part, this card is just really, really good. It even has an ability where it can just come in for free. Normally Pokemon, it costs energy to retreat. This guy, he can just come in whenever. Here, I'm flipping for the damage, and Serena, oh man, 3 heads again. It does a hot 150, which is fantastic. I'm not sure how much that mattered in the course of the game. It is a 1 in 8, but that's why I run Serena, you know, sometimes just for those big highs. It is quite satisfying. Of course, it's not satisfying when you run like Serena and then you get 3 tails in a row and deal 0 damage. But, you know, the cards giveth and the cards taketh away. He does send in his Skarmory. Thankfully, the lion can't retreat for free. It can only come in for free, so he doesn't have the energy to attack right now. So I don't need to use a Mallow right now, which is pretty great. And my eggs in the back there is almost ready to attack. Now, I do need to get 2 heads to kill this thing, but I only get one. And that's actually, I think I would have preferred it if I didn't get any heads at all, because then it wouldn't have procced the poison burb and I wouldn't be poisoned right now. It doesn't make too much of a difference, but I just don't like seeing my girls get hurt, you know? I'm like an anime harem pro tag. Like, I just value my women so much. You go after them. I go gamer mode. I get angry and I'm like, oh. I'm sorry. I go Mr. Soul. I'm like on them. And I just... Anyway. I am gonna have to use my Mallow here because the line is about to come in. Thankfully, I only need one head to kill this Skarmory. Let's see if I get it. It'd be really funny if I didn't. Even funnier is that I get 3 heads again. 3 Lillies face up. Pretty funny stuff. The Poison Barb activates again, which doesn't make a difference. It's just there to waste your time. I don't know why it activates when you're already poisoned. I feel like there's some optimization the team over at Pokemon TCG Pocket can do, but oh well. Now, his Lion is at 100 because he used Lillie on it, and he's going to use Lillie again on it, which means that I am, in fact, not able to kill it even if I get 3 coin flips in a row, 3 heads. But that's cool because I still have my giant eggs in the back, so, you know, he's within both of my Pokemon's kill thresholds, so I have pretty good odds to just, you know, whack him, and then he dies. Here, I hit Serena. If I can get 3 hits now, I just win, but listen, you can't always get what you want. It is a 1 in 8, so more often than not, you're doing 50 to 100, but that's fine. It's okay. The poison, thankfully, isn't going to kill me. If it killed me, then that means I would have had to send in someone else to take the hit. Like, if the poison killed me, I would have sent someone else in, and then the line would have hit that. But now the line has my already pretty much dead Serena, which is very good for me. Something funny that happens here is that he's just going to end his turn without attacking because he knows that the poison is just going to knock out my Serena anyway, and it does save him from the 10 recoil damage he takes whenever he uses his main attack. It doesn't really change much because the kill threshold for me is still the same, you know, multiples of 50, but I mean, you know, it's a fine optimization to make, you know, it's good to have that game sense in you. So now all I have left are Serena's young but eager and somewhat bratty little sister, and then I have their clueless but fun-loving big brother in the back. The little sister, not as good as her big reliable sis whose grades are always the top for class. She only gets 50. If she had 100 or 150, I would have won, but that's fine, you know. I'm sure she doesn't feel inadequate compared to her big sister. He does shuffle our decks, which is not anything for me, because I've used all the cards I'm going to use this game. Like, my deck might as well have no cards in it left, because I'm not going to be using anything from here on out. He does send in his second big stupid lion, and that's unfortunate for me, because that means all the damage I did on the first lion is just irrelevant, because I have no way to bring in the damaged lion, so I'm just going to have to KO this lion here, which is, pretty scary because, as you can see there, 120 damage. If I hit him, he has the Rocky helmet on, so if I touch him, Serena's just gonna eat it, which means that the big brother execute in the back is gonna have to take the next attack. But little sister, really eager to please, gets a hot 150, which is fantastic. I didn't really need 150, like, she surpassed my expectations, but Executor deals 150 anyway, so, like, all I really needed was 50, but I really admire her spirit. So, here's Big Brother to come in and see if he can do something. With both sisters down, it's up to their Big Brother to make his move. After his attack here, he has 1 chance of doing it, and he has a 50-50 shot of hitting his attack, because it is a coin flip. 150 for a coin flip. If I miss, I lose. If I get it, I win. Let's see. Way to go, Oni-chan. What a great big brother. What a great, fantastic big brother. They're so close to each other. You know, they're a bit of a mixed bunch who don't always get along, but all the siblings, they love each other very much and wouldn't trade each other for the world. It's very, very sweet. And there she is. Good heartwarming family story. Anyway, let's go on to the next match. For our last match with my Mallow deck, we're going against our Darkrai deck. Yay! And his stupid pet frog, too. I'm so happy. This deck is really annoying for reasons that will become very apparent in just a few moments. I do start off with my eggs, and you know, it's a pretty good start. I have both of my professor's decks to really stack my hand full. Unfortunately, I went first, so I'm not going to be able to get the energy first, which is unfortunate. But then, oh, there he is! Yay! No Darkrai deck is complete without his stupid Wrangler Giratina in the back. And you can see here, this is why this deck is so annoying. If you just attach an energy to Darkrai, it deals 20 damage to you. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but in the early game, that's enough to, like, being able to deal damage while setting yourself up is just so good. Like, there's a reason why this deck is one of the most popular decks in the game. It's really unfortunate. Now, I can't actually, like the first game, I can't actually, like, bring out my Serena right now, so I just evolve her normally. I do have to attach a cape to my Execute because I know in my heart of hearts he has a rare candy in the back, and Greninja does the exact same thing as Darkrai, where he can just deal 20 damage to you for free, except he doesn't even need to attach an energy to himself to do it. He can just do it. And yeah, there's the rare candy, and Greninja's gonna come out and completely... Thankfully, I have enough health to survive it thanks to my cape. Oh, Guzma. Oh, Guzma. I really like Guzma as a character. I really like him, but man, do I hate his card. Oh no, my poor eggs. Guzma gets rid of any tools you have attached, and that includes my capes. And all my eggs are scrambled, and they are just gone. Really unfortunate. I am pretty far behind now with how much energies I spent onto my eggs, but thankfully this deck is pretty energy efficient. That's what I love about it so much. It's really high attack, potentially, really high tanking abilities for very low cost. It just feels nice. It is a bit of a gambling deck, but I like it. I like it quite a lot. Another good thing about it is that all the cards are only worth 1 point if you knock them out. Any normal card is worth 1 point, but any EX card is worth 2 points. And you need 3 points to win. So as you can see here, this Darkrai EX, if I knocked him out, that would have been 2 points for me, which would have been pretty good. He survives on 20, and you can see just how important it is to like deal that extra damage wherever you can. Oh man, if I had my own Darkrai, if I had my own Greninja, this would be a different story, brother, let me tell you. Now, thankfully, Serena does have enough natural bulk where he can't actually kill me. He can just bring me down to exactly 10. Oh no, guys, I'm at 10 health. Oh no, anything can kill me now. What am I gonna do? Oh man. Oh, I wish I had my Nature Valley girlfriend to come in and take care of me and be like, oh, I'm gonna heal you, nurse you back to health. There she is. All right, cool. Really happy about that. Serena's such a great card. Not Serena, sorry. Mallow is such a great card. Sorry, I get my girls mixed up sometimes. So now all I need to do is hit 1 heads, and I do. In fact, I hit 3. A lot of useless triple headers this game, but you know what? It still feels good to get it, you know? I admire the big sister's dedication to doing her best and excelling where she can. The big number makes me feel good. So does Serena. He sends in his Giratina, which isn't actually that scary because he needs to end his turn to get a Psychic Energy onto him to attack me. Because he doesn't have any Psychic Energy in his energy pile there, he only has Dark. So he actually can't attack me this turn, which means I'm going to be able to survive for just a little bit longer and get off some attacks. Even if I don't get the KO, I do have my giant eggs in the back, which will, you know, he does exactly 150, so pretty good chance to clean up with him if Serena doesn't end up doing anything. I also have my second Serena here now with Bonsweet being able to evolve next turn thanks to the rare candy. I should probably explain what rare candy does. Rare candy If you couldn't tell, it does let you skip the second evolution stage. Normally it goes 1, 2, 3. Rare Candy lets you go from 1 to 3. It is stupid good. Not on Serena. It's really good when, or I mean, it's pretty good on Serena, but it's a lot better when you use it on like EXs like Solgaleo or Greninja, especially, who's just really, really good. Serena is just kind of okay. People, you never see Serena decks really. I think I've seen one other Serena deck in my entire time playing this game. No one likes using her because they just don't like the coin flips, which is quite a shame. I quite like her. He does end my Serena, but it's fine. I have another one right here, and even if he knocks out this one, I still have my eggs in the back. So I'm in a really good spot right now. Despite how this game started, I'm in a pretty good spot. This deck is just so fun. I love coin flip decks. I love the speed, and I love the synergy, and it's just really exciting. You know, getting those clutch 150s is just, it feels so nice. I do get the 100 here, and I'm gonna knock out his Giratina. So, you know, this game is luck, mostly luck anyway, in my humble opinion. So I really enjoy decks that lean to that aspect more. I think I already said that, but, well. Serena manages to take it down herself, doesn't even need Big Bro's help this time. What a game. The next deck that I'm going to be showing off is my Lana deck, which is probably the most boring deck I have in this video, for reasons I'll get into soon. But the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that I am a water deck and I am against a fire deck, which means that I have the type advantage. And type advantage means that I will be dealing plus 20 damage to pretty much all of his Pokemon, which can be rather significant. I don't think it matters this match. I don't think the extra damage helps me reach any damage thresholds, but it can make you lose games or win games. I have had quite a few games to lose just because my opponent had the type advantage. And it's rather interesting because it adds this like rock, paper, scissors element to a game that's already very luck based. I mean, I guess it's cool if like you're having trouble with Solgaleo, then you can run like a fire deck to help you deal with it, to like goose your odds against it. But for the most part, it doesn't really matter. Most decks only have 1 or maybe 2 weaknesses. So like most of the time, type advantage won't even come into play. But when it does, like 20 extra damage in the early game where everything only has 60 to 50 health, that's pretty significant. So I'm not really sure how I feel about it. There's really not much you can do if you're against a deck that has a type advantage against you. Like, you can try to use Pokemon that have different weaknesses. Like, some water types are weak to metal, and some are weak to electric, so I guess you can mix it up there. But for the most part, there's really not a lot you can do. Which is, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't know. I'll have to lose a few more times before I hate it, honestly. But anyway, we're against a Incineroar and Charizard deck, and the big thing with them is that they take a while to set up, but once they're set up, they deal stupid amounts of damage. It is quite insane, the numbers they can hit. Thankfully, I have my Crab here, which has a lot of health, and the main thing with him is that he deals 40 damage for 1 energy, but after he deals 40 damage once, he'll deal 80 damage for every swing after that. So he deals 40, then 80, 80, 80, 80, 80. Now, if he gets forced to switch out with like Sabrina or Cyrus, it resets, but that doesn't happen a lot in my experience. Cyrus only works if your Pokemon on the bench is attacked, and generally my Crab is the first one out, so that doesn't happen often. And Sabrina is just not as common as you might think it would be, at least in my experience using this deck. I don't get Sabrina that often. And as you can see here, the Charizard, it takes 5 energies for him to attack, which is a lot, but he does have an ability, or rather a move, where he attaches energies to himself. So although it takes him a little bit to set up, it's not that bad. My Crab can survive 1 of his attacks, thankfully, which means that I'm going to be able to swing and then swing again. And I'm going to be dealing quite a lot of damage. I used red there to goose my damage even higher. And I really like red. I really like doing more damage to EXs. I do not like using EXs at all, or going against them. They are quite strong. I mean, they're meant to be. That's why they're worth 2 points when you knock them out. But I don't know. Something about using just 1-pointers all the time feels really nice. But for this deck, I kind of had to use a Crabominable EX. It was like the only mon that worked with Arachnid. I want to use a Lana deck because Lana is like one of my top 3 favorite Pokegirls, along with like Hex Maniac and May. but her card does require that you use Araquanid, otherwise it just doesn't do anything. And Araquanid is just terrible. Like, I tried so hard to make a good Araquanid deck, and Carbonable was like the only one that fit the bill. I needed someone tanky who does a lot of damage for very little energy, and Carbonable was the only one who worked, so I do end up using a EX just for this deck. Lana's effect is really powerful. What Lana's card does is it lets you switch in any mon from the bench to the active spot, but only if you have an Araquanid in play. Like, that's such a powerful effect, but you're forced to use Araquanid, who's so slow and takes a lot of energies and doesn't have that much HP and is only really good against specific types or specific mons. He's only good against basics. It's just a really bad card. So it's kind of balanced by that. You don't really see Lana's that often. Yeah, that battle was pretty short and pretty boring, and it pretty much was just my crab going hard, but anyway. I just want to talk about type advantages and to show you what my crab can do, you know? Hey, guess what? I actually used Lana this match, you know? The card this whole deck is based around. So, look out for that. I realize I'm against a Garchomp EX deck, which is so unfortunate because Garchomp EX is insanely good. It, especially when you use it with Rampardos, but this guy is using it with Sandygast, who is awful. I tried so hard to make Sandygast work. I tried in like 30 different ways to make Sandygast work, because his evolution, Palisand, has a card much like Lana, where it only works with Sandygast and also Mimikyu, called Acerola, and Acerola is really heckin' cute, and I wanted to use her, but Sandygast and Mimikyu are just so terrible that I couldn't. I couldn't make it work. I tried looking online, no one has made it work. I haven't, like, seen one except for this guy, and I also actually find out this guy is not Garchomp EX, he is just regular Garchomp, which is very interesting. I have never seen a regular Garchomp or a Sandygast, for that matter, in all the random battles I've ever done. I've played a lot of this game too, so that's quite something. That's quite something coming from me. The thing about dragon types is they don't have a weakness, and they're generally pretty strong, but their energy requirements are cumbersome. As you can see, he requires a water and a fighting energy to attack. And when you run multiple energies in a deck, it's random which one you'll get on a turn. So you could just get like 5 fighting energies in a row and not be able to attack, but he did get pretty lucky, or rather, it's not that lucky, but you know, he got the luck he needed and he's able to attack my crab, and that brings me down to 10. Now, I can hit him back and KO him, but his Garchomp is only worth 1 point, and my Crabominable is worth 2, so he has a pretty big advantage right from the start here. It's why I generally don't like using EXs. I do like it when all my Mons are 1-pointers, but like I said earlier, Carbonable is like the only Mon that works with this Lana deck, so I kind of have to. This is actually the only deck in this video that does have an EX in it. So if you don't like them, then don't worry, it'll be alleviated soon. And if you do like them, then great, you get a little bit of EX stuff. As you can see, the Palisand there, he takes 4 energies to attack. 4! That's insane! Especially when there's not really a good, consistent way to get Palisand those energies. Like, some Mons have energy acceleration in the form of, like, a card or, like, a move, but Palisand doesn't really have that. I send in my tiny water spider here, because I was really hoping I would get Araquanid from my card pull, but I didn't, so I have to retreat into my crab. I think if I did, then that would have been really good. I wouldn't have been able to get rid of this Gibble right away, but as it currently stands, I'm only able to deal 40, and then he will probably evolve with a rare candy and do a lot of damage to my crab, which is really unfortunate. And yeah, there's the rare candy. Bad thing about Crabominable is only 40 damage, but look at that card art. That is some really nice card. That's just a chill guy. What a nice... I really like the concept of, like, really big, powerful, beefy guys. You know, creatures. But they're really relaxed, you know? They just like to lie down and sleep and snooze. But if need be, they can mess your stuff up. I really like that idea. It's quite interesting. Now he is gonna just attack my crab, and I do have red to deal 20 more damage, but that only works on EXs, and this guy is not an EX, so I'm only able to do 80, and then he'd just be able to KO me. So I am actually going to do something pretty interesting here, which, you know, should work out in my favor. I'm going to use the Lana to bring in the Palisand. And the reason why I'm doing that is because Palisand can't attack me and also has a 3 energy cost. So it's going to be quite a while before, you know, all I need to do is KO him before he can get that retreat cost, and I'll be fine. It's you know, quite a good play. So you can see where Lana really shines. I could have also done that with Sabrina, but listen, if he had another Mon on the bench, it wouldn't have worked, okay? The fact that I got to choose, it just feels nice, okay? It feels nice. And as we'll see in a second, he's going to use the ability Reckless Shearing, which lets you discard a card and then draw a card. And he does that, and then you'll see after we're done waiting, he'll attach an energy to the guy and bring out Manaphy. So if he brought out that Manaphy a turn earlier, then Sabrina wouldn't have worked. But I don't know, that's my weird convoluted way of coping with the fact that I chug at this game. Now I am making sure that if I have another, I don't know what I'm doing here. Listen, I want to be honest, I tried to record this section for commentary like quite a few times, but there are just so many pauses in between each turn. It's kind of hard sometimes for me to keep up, you know? Like, I have notes of what happened, but I don't have the notes of when they happen, so sometimes it's just long pauses and it's really awkward, and I'm just sitting there like, oh, we should probably re-record this, but man, I've tried to re-record this one so many times, alright? This battle's not going to have great commentary, just kind of live with that. Now, his Palisand is at 50 and I deal 60, which is fantastic. It's great. That means I just need to attach a energy to my Arachnid and I win. But oh, he has the cute little old lady, Icerola, and now things aren't looking too hot for me. In my head, I'm like, oh, this is fine. I don't know why I used Pokemon Communication here. There was no point of using Pokemon Communication here. But in my head, I'm like, oh, it's fine because he needs 4 energies to attack. So all I need to do is just hit him twice, and then I'm fine. So, you know, that's what I'm gonna do. So I attach the final energy to my Arachnid, and I attack, deal 60. I'm like, oh, cool, he's at 30. As long as he doesn't use Acerola, I should be fine. Funny thing, I completely forgot that he only has 3 retreat cost, and I just eat it to the Garchomp. And I'm actually gonna lose. This was more of a showcase of that guy's deck, but you saw the intent behind Lana. It's just so hard to make work. It's fun, but the counters are fairly common, and it's just not that good. I do like that match, though. Sometimes you do just get fun matches against people trying out neat cards. It's like 1 in 30 matches, but you do get them from time to time. In this match, I actually go first, which is normally very good for my deck, because you can get your crab out and ready and swinging by turn 3. But I just didn't draw the cards I need to do that. I am instead stuck with the spider, and he's really bad because he takes 2 energies to start attacking. So in 2 turns, he'll do 30, while a normal lead will do 40 in 2 turns. So it's pretty unfortunate. But I see that my opponent actually starting out with Shaman, which is also really bad. So I think I'm almost guaranteed he got stuck with that, because Shaman is a bench warmer, where it's supposed to stay on your bench and just heal your team. That's all it does. It doesn't attack really well. It does 30 for 2 energies, and it doesn't evolve. So really unfortunate start for both of us, which is a little unfortunate. I'm not gonna actually attack with my spider. I can't even if I wanted to, but I don't want to attack him right now because he can just poison me, and I don't want to do that. I could Mars here. Mars shuffles the opponent's deck and they draw the amount of cards for how many points they need left to win. So he would shuffle 4 and then draw 3. I could do that, but I didn't really feel like it. And there he is! Oh, it's the guy! It's Giratina! Everyone's favorite. We all love our favorite little banished to hell devil boy. Poor little guy. I do finally have Crabominable, and if I wanted to, I could retreat my spider into my crab, but because both of the people on my screen right now are basics, and they can't evolve, Araquanid is really good against basics, so I think I'm actually just going to keep Araquanid in, and I'm going to see if I can just swing with him. If I can get my Lana right now for next turn, I would destroy that Giratina. I would do a hot 120 to him. So really hoping that happens. Something interesting is that you can see that this guy, his energy pool, he has water and electric. I understand water for like the Greninja he has there, or the Froakie, but I'm really wondering why he has the electric. It's very, very interesting. Anyway, I didn't end up getting my Lana, which is unfortunate, but at the very least I can KO this Shaman if I wanted to. And the good thing is that much like last game, Giratina still needs to end a turn without attacking if it wants to end me. It needs a third Psychic Energy, and it just can't do that for next turn, which is great. I do get poisoned, but it's not a huge deal. I really don't mind getting poisoned. Araquanid's probably going to die in one hit to anything he wants to throw at anyway, so, you know, getting poisoned's not a big deal. Something interesting here is that, so my opponent right now has the Froakie in, and then he has the Giratina in the back. Now, you need 3 points to win, but you can really negate the weaknesses of EXs. If I knock out 2 1-pointers and I get 2 points, then it doesn't really matter if the EX is also worth 2 points, because I only need 1 point to win anyway. So that's a really nice advantage to running EXs, that you really can negate their weakness by just not sending them out until last. And Giratina is really more of like a mid to late game attacker, so he kind of works best for that. I do debate on whether or not I should switch out my Spider for the Crab, because, you know, I just feel like it might be a better matchup, especially with the, you know, the fact that he can take an attack and he'll be able to like do stuff. But I end up deciding against it. So here is quite a long pause, but you know, this is a thinking man's game. So I do end up KOing the Froakie. Thankfully, he didn't rare candy him into Greninja. That would have been quite a troublesome thing for me to deal with. But it's fine. He is going to KO my Araquanid, but that's perfectly fine by me. I took out 2 of his Mons. He's only taking out 1 of my Mons, so I still have a pretty good advantage here. And the thing about Giratina's attack is that it actually does, I think, I can't see it from here because it's a very tiny screen. It actually does, I believe, 20 damage to itself. So even if it KOs my Araquanid, I'm still doing a bit of damage to it. And we finally see what the electric energy is for. It's for Oricorio. And Oricorio is pretty interesting. Oricorio, it doesn't take damage from EX Pokemon, which makes it very funny. It makes it a very funny card. Speaking of someone who's used Oricorio quite a few times, it's hilarious when your opponent has like 4 EXs that all do 1,000,000 damage, and then you just have your stupid bird that doesn't care. So you just spit on them with your 50 damage bird until they eventually die. It's quite amusing. I am actually gonna Mars here, just because no better time to use it really. My phone just went off. I don't know if you heard that, but that's actually Konata going ding. It's a really cute ringtone. Or it's not a ringtone, it's a notification sound. I'll check that in a bit. I just wanted to mention that. Now, something really funny is that this is a mobile game, so it is a vertical screen, so a lot of the screen is just wasted real estate. I have mitigated that by putting up pictures on the left and right. I hope you've been enjoying them. It took me a while to find them, so I hope you like them. I like the Poke Girls quite a bit, and they have a lot of cute art, so great thing for me. He is going to completely overkill my Crab, but that's fine. And he is at 130 HP, which would normally be very, very bad, but I do have red to goose my numbers from 120 to 140. So if I need to do that, I can, but instead, I'm actually going to Lana in one of his birds just to smack them. Just because I hate them. Just because I think it's funny. Just because I want to use Lana. It's really funny. I never really showed off the strengths of Lana too much, but, like, I don't know, man. It's so hard to get like good games with Lana. Good, interesting games. Most of the time, you're just sweeping. Hey friends, I took a nap since the last time I recorded, and also it's been like 5 days since the last time I recorded, so if I sound a little different, that's why. This deck here is a fossil deck, so I have Klefki and then 2 fossil mons, and what that means is that I will always be getting Klefki as soon as the battle starts, because it's the only valid mon that can be played. Fossils cannot be played as basic mons on like your very first turn. Like you can't put them into the active spot first, which is really good to be able to guarantee what you get first try. This deck is stupid reliant on draw luck, because Bastiodon is the fossil mon I'm using. You need to get all 3 stages of it early or you just lose. You just lose. It's such a slow mon, and Klefki can't last that long. I should probably use something other than Klefki, but like the draw effect with Klefki doesn't do any damage. Klefki's entire purpose is to draw cards for you, which is actually really, really useful for this particular deck. It synergizes really nicely, so that's why I always run Klefki. Here, I attach the energy to my Shieldon because I end up getting lucky, and I got a lot of my cards that I needed really quickly. All I need now is a Bastiodon, and I can send out the fully evolved man, so I think I'm getting energy on him right now because he takes 3 to attack, so if I put one on Klefki and then he just ends up dying, it's kind of a waste. But normally I do need to put it on Klefki and just draw. He does have enough health to stall out a few turns, especially with how much healing items I have in this deck. The main idea is that Bastiodon is a really tanky mon, as you'll see in a bit, and then my deck is full of healing to like help him out, to make him stay longer, and you just whittle away the opponent while they struggle to deal any meaningful damage to you. This guy punches me instead of using his big move. I don't understand why he did, but now that allows me to do is I can heal my Klefki and then force him to use his big move, because the big move he has, Big Beat, it does have a downside where if you use it, you can't use it next turn. Or, well, you shouldn't be able to use it next turn, but you can play around it. I do have a shuffle card. I have a Lono to get me to shuffle both of our decks, and it doesn't really do much. I just get another Lono, which is fine, I suppose. That just means I get in another shot. Now, because Lono shuffles the amount of cards you have in hand, I actually attach a thing to my Klefki and unlock to get another card. It's not Bastiodon, but it does mean that I have even higher odds of getting it once I Lono again. So that's a pretty good thing. This deck is not like that good. None of my decks here are good, but they're really fun. You'll see why I run this deck in a bit. I think it's really funny. He does switch out into his Kartana, but that's fine because I still made him waste about 2 energies. So I'm perfectly okay with that play. No matter what, that healing still did something. There's my Immersive Lillie. I saved up all of my packs since launch. Or not launch. Since I got the game, I saved up all of my hourglasses. And then they revealed Immersive Lillie, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll use them on that. And it took me so long, dude. I think it was like maybe my last like 3 packs I got it. It was crazy. I am going to deal a hot 50 to Kartana here, which isn't enough to kill, unfortunately. That's the thing about this deck. It is very weak. Shieldon is very weak. He's tanky, but he's very weak. Same thing with Bastiodon. He does not do that much damage for being a stage 3. It is quite unfortunate. Thankfully, he brings out his Buzzwole EX, but thankfully he can't actually attack with him yet. And you might be like, oh, it's cool. Oh, so Buzzwole is just kind of stuck here until he can get 2 energies on him. Oh, that's a really neat thing. You'd think, but then out comes Celesteela, probably the dumbest looking Pokemon that I've seen in quite a long time. Celesteela's Lollipop Dance is that it just gets rid of retreat costs for all of your Ultra Beasts. They just don't have a retreat cost. So it doesn't matter if it's 4 or 1 or 2, they can just leave for free, and then someone else can come in and then just hit you really hard. He does Leaf Cape both of his Buzzwoles, which doesn't really matter, because Bastiodon does Bastiodon does 80 HP each time anyway, so like, you know, times 2, that's 160. It doesn't actually change any damage thresholds. Here we have Bastiodon, which is fantastic, because he has enough HP to survive a big beat, but I'm just going to start pumping him up full of just healing juice anyway, because I want him to stick around for a while. I quite enjoy the rock steel types. Aggron is my absolute favorite Mon, and it just got so shafted in this game. So I have to go with Bastiodon. I just really like Mons whose main gimmick is like, I just sit here and take hits. That's all I do. I think they're they're really funny. I don't know. Even though he does go down in like one Earthquake or like one Mach Punch, it's still neat. As you can see there, my Bastiodon's whole gimmick is that if you're gonna be attacked, you flip a coin, and if you get heads, you take 100 less damage. Which doesn't sound fantastic, but considering this deck is built around healing him, like, that health ends up being a lot more effective because of this. Like, you get so many chances to flip the coin that more often than not, you will save quite a lot of time and damage on your Bastiodon just through sheer luck. It's really nice. I like to goose my odds by just having 15 heal cards in this deck to help him out. And then I have like another one in the back, so this deck's it does stay around long. He is only worth 1 point, so even if he gets knocked out, I can just send in my other one. It's really nice. So Klefki can go down to bring in Bastiodon, and then that Bastiodon can go down to bring in the other one. It's a really nice system. I think this deck is really elegant, in my personal humble opinion. I quite think it's very, very consistent, weirdly enough. The fact that you can always start out with Klefki, and that Klefki just draws out other cards, and then you have 2 Lonos to shuffle your decks to get the cards you want. It's really quite nice. I don't know. I actually get 1 point, which is pretty important because now I only need to knock out one of his Buzzwoles to win. It'd be really troubling if I had to knock out 2 of them, because I don't think that's going to take a lot more damage than I'm used to. He does lose me now. He probably didn't have it earlier, otherwise I would have died. Here, I'm going to take a lot of damage. Let's see. And Yahtzee, we get the heads, which, I mean, look at this. Oh, 20 damage. How does that feel, Buzzwole? 20 damage? Ooh, Buzzwole. Ooh, I didn't realize you're so, ooh, that tickles. Ooh, Buzzwole. Ooh, that's so, oh, wow, your little love taps are so tickly. Oh, great. That's just fantastic. I heal with Lily-chan. We all love Riri-chan. We rub you, Riri-chan. And then I'm like basically back to full. Aw, geez, Billy. How come your mom lets you have 2 Celesteelas? Yeah, so here's the big thing with Buzzwole and Celesteela. Big Beat is supposed to make it so that you can't attack after using it. Like, it takes a turn to recharge it. But you can just retreat into another Buzzwole, and then, lo and behold, you can just hit him again. So it's pretty annoying. I miss again, which is not a huge deal. So with this now, that means he only has a 50% chance of KOing me next turn. And even if he does, I have Bastiodon's twin sister in the back. They love each other very much. Kind of like a Kagami Tsukasa kind of thing going on here, I think. Which one's which, I'll let you find out. So I almost take out the Buzzwole. His Buzzwoles are running pretty low now. Unless I like get all tails from here on out, then like I'm pretty good. He does make an odd decision here where he sends in his Celesteela to try and kill me. Celesteela only has a 25% chance of hitting me with the attack, because they have to hit heads and then I have to hit tails. So that's a 1 in 4. They are kind of like just pivoting between all their mons because I am slowly whittling each one of them down. It is quite funny. Like, while having like no retreat, like Celesteela's whole thing of like making cards have no retreat cost, you know, it's really annoying. A thing this game really likes to do is they just keep releasing cards that ignore mechanics like retreating or evolving. It makes me worry about what they're going to release next, you know? Because I like the mechanics in this game. I don't like them when you just ignore it outright. It's quite I don't know. It just makes the normal counterplay of these kind of decks not work. But maybe I'm just being a whiny Nelly because I only use weird, unoptimized garbage. My opponent is taking quite a long time to decide what to do next because what can you do next? I mean, you're up against the wall. You can't stall the wall, my guy. There is timers on the top and the bottom. As you can see, he's at like 14:46. I'm at 15:51. I have never seen these timers go down below like 10 minutes. And I've reached turn 30 on games. God forbid God forbid both of them reach down to like 0. I don't know what happens then. He does hit tails, or he does hit heads on his attack, which means he attacks with an I hit heads on my thing, which means I don't take any damage from it, which is fantastic. I do knock out the Celesteela, so now I have 2 points, which doesn't really matter because I only need 1 more to win anyway, and both Buzzwoles are worth 2, so whatever. That's a nice thing about not running EXs, is that it always takes 3 KOs. It feels so much nicer to just like be like, oh, I can have 2 Pokemon be knocked out and still be fine. That's a guarantee. With EXs though, it's not always the case. You can be on death's door with 1 point, which is scary. I hit heads again. Oh, Bastiodon, you're doing too much to me. He's at 10 HP. Oh, jeez. I am actually gonna heal him up, so he's forced to use Big Beat on me again, because I don't want him to just punch me, so he's gonna have to retreat into his 20 HP Buzzwole if he wants to hit me. I guess that's slightly better than his 10 HP Buzzwole. It's really funny, if I had Guzma, I could knock out both of his EXs at the same time and get like 4 points, which I've never done before. That would have been quite interesting. So yeah, he may have thought he had me in a corner, but more healing. So what you gonna do? He sends in another Celesteela, which just keeps doing nothing. He's really desperate at this point. That's what makes this deck so funny. And then he just concedes. Turn 27. That took 27 turns. I still had another Bastiodon in the back too. Games tie at 30, so I'm actually kind of glad he didn't try to stall me out. I don't know what he could have done to stall me out, but good lord, Bash, 700 damage. Oh, wow. So here's our next battle, and I actually go first, which is not great because Klefki likes having its energies before the other opponent so it can just start drawing cards on end. And uh-oh, it's a little dancing cat. He thinks he's so cool. Just look at him. Look at that cat. And I know a lot of cool cats. The coolest one I know is probably Alex. Now, if I ever see Alex do something cool, you know what I'll do? I'll go, hey Alex, that was bona fide. He'll know what it means. So shoutouts to Alex the cat. Really, really cool guy. Really cool cat. This is a okay start for me. I have both Shield-Ons in my hand, and my Klefki is in no real danger, so he can just keep bringing out cards. The funny weed cat in front of me doesn't actually do any damage, so until he's fully evolved, because this is definitely a rare candy deck, until he's fully evolved, he's not going to be able to KO me. And even then, once he's fully evolved, he only deals 60, so I'll be fine for quite a while. So this is the deck I'm facing is a Decidueye and Meowscarada deck. It's the only meta deck I've used more than once, and it is quite fun. It's really nice to bully all the EXs that have been bullying me for the past few months. It's particularly what it's good against because Meowscarada does 120, I believe. I could be wrong. 120 for 2 energies to EXs, and then Decidueye can just hit any opponent that's damaged for 100. So it's really good to clean up. It's a really effective, really fun deck. Heavily reliant on rare candies, but that's absolutely fine. He does send in his Dartrix, I believe the name of it is. It's hard for me to read on the card because the screen is like so small and horizontal. He does send in Dartrix, and it does deal 20 to me, and that doesn't seem like a lot, but I actually do want to heal off that damage, even though it's a little bit because of Pierce the Pain. Decidueye is the final stage of Dartrix, and with Pierce the Pain, no matter where the Pokemon is, it will be able to hit it for 100. So I'm going to end up having Klefki in the back. I don't want him injured at all, because I really want him to, really, it's just nice not to give up 3 points. I even put the cape on him to get out to 90, because when Decidueye doesn't use Pierce the Pain, it can only do Razor Leaf, which is 80. So if he wants to kill my Klefki, he's going to at least need to take 2 turns, which is nice. I mean, that's the downside of using meta decks, is that you know everything about them going into battle. I know all the cards this guy has before, like, as soon as he sent out the Weed Cat, I was like, alright, I understand what's going on here. So he does end up using Razor Leaf, and then he can just use Pierce the Pain whenever he wants. But even if he does use Pierce the Pain, that's still a turn he's attacking my 10 HP Klefki and not one of my main, like, attacking mons, which is great. This is the perfect time to use Lono. I've never played Scarlet and Violet, so I don't know how good of a girl she is. She seems like the waifu bait girl. I don't know. So maybe she's really good. I don't know. I recently got Scarlet, so I'll see how good she is in a bit. Maybe she ends up being my new favorite, and I make an entire deck around her. I guess I kind of already have, but anyway. He does Sabrina in my Shieldon, which is actually fine, because he can't die, and then I can just evolve him next turn, and I have Lillie to heal off most of the damage that he deals to me. So this is actually not a bad outcome at all. He could even KO my Klefki if he wants to, but that doesn't really... Then the Sabrina is pretty useless, so... you know, he is much better off just Rage Leafing me. I do have Klefki in the back if he wants to hit it, but now I have the big man, so he's probably not gonna. Now, it may seem like I'm in a good spot, but Decidueye decks have so much healing behind them. They have Erica and Lillie and Leaf Cape. I don't mind too much though, because like every attack he does has to go through a coin flip, or else he just can't hurt me. He either deals 80 or he deals 100. So if I hit heads, he just can't hurt me, which is really funny. Unlike a big beat from earlier, which dealt 120, so it kind of pierced my defense a little bit. My Bastion is getting rather low, so I use my Professor's Research to try and draw out some more healing cards. I do get Lillie, but I can't use 2 trainer cards in one turn, so I just have to hope and pray to the lords that I get heads this turn. If I do, then aces. If I don't, then I'm down a Bastiodon, which is quite unfortunate. I do knock him down to 50, which is really good, because even if he Leaf Capes, that means he'll still be at 80. But then he Ericas, which is like, about as expected. That means I am going to have to hit him twice now if I want to get him down to 0, which is a little unfortunate, but I really can't complain about healing when I'm running this deck. I do hit Tails, which means that my opponent is going to completely obliterate my Bastiodon. That's fine, because thankfully I have my backup Bastiodon. I actually don't send him in yet. I send in Klefki to stall. Amon at 10 health can still be really, really useful. I even get to pull a card, which is pretty nice. He's not going to put him in KO range. That would be really cool if he did. But, that's fine. I really just care about the card being drawn anyway. But it is nice to get another healing card out of there, just in case I need it. I could run Red or even Giovanni to deal more damage to EXs and other mons, but then I'd have to get rid of a healing card, and I think healing to full like every turn is really, really funny. It's really demoralizing to the opponent. I'm like, oh yes, I finally hit him, and then I just heal it all off, and they're like, oh man, I'm gonna DC and do something better with my time. I'm gonna go play Delta. You ever play Deltarune? Chapter 3 and 4 came out recently. That's a real fun time. Maybe no, I'm not going to do a video on that. Are you crazy? It's a complicated game. It's a lot of text. I'm not going to commentate that. Are you crazy? He does knock out my Klefki, so it's just Bastiodon against the world and every healing card you can imagine. It is quite funny. You may recognize the situation here as a repeat of last game, but he has weaker cards, and I don't have a second Bastiodon to back me up. Bastion is like the only stall card I've ever run. I don't like stall in like the actual Pokemon games, but I love it in Pocket. Probably because it's like chance-based and so funny in a meta where everything does a billion damage. It's really nice to like just sit there and they do like 10. It's really nice. He does send in the sexy cat, so that even if I do knock him out, it's only gonna give me 1 point. Kind of the same thing as the last game as well with the Celesteelas. He does break through the coin flip, but thankfully I do have a lot of healing, so we're gonna be here for a little bit. I do have 0 points, so I'm gonna need to get quite a few coin flips to pull this one off. Something really funny too is that we are both completely out of cards. That happens quite often with this deck. I haven't hit the turn limit of 30 with this deck before, but if you want to get there, Bastiodon, this deck is a pretty good way of getting there. If you just want to force ties, which is obnoxious, don't do that, but, it's a funny side effect of an already pretty funny deck. So the sexy cats only do 60 damage apiece, which is great because they can't even hit me if I run heads. And even if they do hit me, like, I have a lot of healing, so 60 damage isn't really that much. I do have his sexy cat and funny bird. They're both at very low. They're both in KO range, which is fantastic. All he has left to try and stop me is like his other full health sexy cat, but gonna be honest, not looking good for my opponent. I do get the tails here, so he can deal 60, but the rest of the cards in my deck are like just stacked perfectly enough where I can just heal back to full. So I do 30, and then I can just do another 20, and then another 10, and bam, it's like he didn't even hit me. So pretty funny stuff. It's a really funny deck. I really like it. So I hit him again, and I finally get a point. And it's really unfortunate because the obvious clear play here is to send in the sexy cat, and then I have to knock him out, and then the Decidueye. It's really funny. He doesn't even need to knock me out with the cat here. All he needs to do is get me below or equal to 100, and then Decidueye can just potentially clean up. But like I said, it is all chance-based, and lo and behold, I get another heads. So, Decidueye Masquerada is like a pretty stable meta deck. It's really funny to just, you know, use these like weird gimmick stuff and completely obliterate them. It's really quite funny. It's so funny, the next turn, I'm gonna knock out a Pokemon no matter what. So I get heads again, and ooh, hot 0 damage. We're finally at turn 25, and it's here where my opponent is like, you know what, I have better things to do with my time. And then he just concedes. He realizes the hopeless pursuit that this is. So, good job, Bastiodon. Here we are at our next game, and oh, hooray, it's a Guzzlord. You guys remember Guzzlord, right? How very fun and cool he is? It's fine. The game plan for me is the same as usual, but I kind of like how I've been getting like every meta deck in the game these past few games in this video. And, like, normally I get a whole bunch of the same deck in a row, but this time things have been rather varied, and I played all of these games in like close sequence to each other. I kind of just cut out all the boring ones where you lose on like turn 3. But yeah, this game is pretty stale, all things considered, considering how many cards there are in this game, and that everyone just kind of runs the same like 15. I think you could consider it stale, but it could be much worse. Like, at least it's not everyone's running the same 1 or the same 2. It's like the same 5, which I suppose is acceptable. And as long as I can still win with stupid stuff like Bastiodon every now and then, I think I'm always going to have fun with this game. So my game plan is the same. I'm just going to keep drawing cards with Klefki, and I even get Professor's Research, which is great, which means that I can draw even more cards for Lona to shuffle around. Lona is, so it shuffles your hand, but it also shuffles the opponent's hand, and like I've had it happen to me. That can definitely be more beneficial to you than hurtful, depending on what your hand is. So you definitely don't want to use Lona to try and disrupt the opponent, because it absolutely can, and oftentimes does help them out. I suppose if they have like 1 card in their hand, it's not a big deal, but you know, with this deck, you'll often be using Lona early on, so you can like maximize its effectiveness in finding Bastiodon. So it's not really a disruptor, it's more of a, if it is anything, it's like an accidental disruptor. So I do thankfully have my other Fossilmon out, so I can put him out and then just Lona and get a Bastiodon, which would be great. He does have Rocky Helmet on his Guzzlord, which is actually kind of awful, because Bastiodon's ability doesn't block Rocky Helmet, so he will be taking a guaranteed 20 every time he attacks. He does swap me out into my Shieldon with Sabrina, which is definitely not optimal, considering I don't have Bastion right now to help me out to tank the next hit. I am going to put on my Fossil, and like I said, I do have another Lana, which is great. So let's go gambling. Let's see if I get the card I need with my Lano. All right, there goes the ball. Let's see. Ring-a-ding-ding, baby. Let's go. Oh, yay! We got it. We got it in the first 3. We even got 2. Jeez, Billy. How come your mom lets you have 2 Bastiodons? Pretty fantastic. So Bastiodon doesn't have enough energy to attack. Well, that's fine, because I can just start pumping him up full of capes and healing. I actually like how he didn't KO my Klefki. I'd much rather Klefki just be in the back so he doesn't have another point than to just have him be KO'd. Because that means if he wants to Sabrina me, I don't have to send out my other Bastiodon. I can just send out Klefki and let him take a hit. It's not a big advantage, but it's enough to note. He does Team Rocket Grunt me, which can get rid of energies, which is not great considering how energy hungry Bastiodon is. But thankfully he does get Tails, so I don't have to worry about anything. I do miss the coin flip, but he actually goes for Grindcore instead of Tyrannical Hole, which is, I wouldn't say that's an optimal play, but evidently I'm wrong because he gets 3 heads, so there goes all of my energies. Oh my god, that means now my Bastiodon is just a fat wall that can't do anything. It does give me time to set up my other Bastiodon, I suppose, but that's really quite unfortunate. Bastiodon does have a 4 retreat cost, so energy discarding is actually really strong against him. Because he can't attack, can't retreat. What are you going to do? If only Celesteela worked on Bastiodon. That would have been great. Speaking of which, there she is! There's Celesteela. He does have Guzma to just completely get rid of my cape, which is really unfortunate because now he can just Tyrannical Hole me to death. I do hit heads, which means he's not going to right now. But, you know, the threat is definitely there. It was definitely there. If I didn't get heads, then, like, my other Bastiodon also wouldn't have been ready to attack, so that would have been quite a troubling moment. Yeah, I could have probably just healed my Bastiodon a bit more so I wouldn't have to rely on a coin flip to live, but this way, with me getting lucky, that means I don't have to learn anything from the consequences of my actions, which just feels fantastic. So I actually prefer that things worked out the way they did. I quite enjoy that. It is turn 12 and nobody has gotten any points yet, which is really unusual. Normally Pokemon Pocket games go by pretty quickly, unless you're using obnoxious, dumb coin flip stall cards like me. But I kind of like that. It makes it feel more like gambling. But instead of money, it's ELO and pack hourglasses, so arguably it's even more important. I am playing all these games in ranked for some reason. I guess because I wanted to add some more legitimacy to these decks, to being like, hey, I'm not just doing this in random battles against like little Timmy with his 4 Ponytas. I'm doing it against people who kind of know what they're doing. I think that does make it a little bit more interesting, you know? Instead of dunking on complete noobs who don't know who just don't know what they're doing, I'm dunking on people who do know what they're doing. I say dunking on, it's not even their fault, I just happen to get a lot of heads, which is nice. Quite funny. Now my Bastiodon is at 10 HP, but it doesn't matter, like I don't heal him. I do get heads, but then it should have killed me, but then he went for Grindcore. I don't know why, he should have went for a Tyrannical Hole. I would have been dead to rights if he went for a Tyrannical Hole. I don't know what he expected. I don't know what he thought I would have done. I mean, like, unless I had, like, a Leaf and 2 X speeds to get out Bastiodon into my other Bastiodon, there was really no reason to go for Grindcore. I guess it doesn't really give me anything to, like, an advantage either, because I already have, like, all the energies I'm going to need on Bastiodon. Really odd misplay, but I guess it doesn't matter that much. I do send in my final Bastiodon, and it's just Bastiodon against a fully stacked team of 2 Guzzlords and 2 Celesteelas who are like all at full energies. Not the Celesteelas, but they're not going to be attacking anyway. Even if they did, like, you know, we've seen that before. We know how that works out. Here's the example. You can see Rocky Helmet does not get blocked by the ability, so I am going to be guaranteed taking 20 every time I attack this guy, which is quite unfortunate. Thankfully, I do have a crap ton of healing items in the back, so it's not too huge of a deal, but he does Team Rocket Grunt me, and he does get a heads. Oh, but he only gets 1, so I guess that turn where he misplayed might have mattered. If he went for Grindcore, but, you know, or if the Team Rocket heads was like 3 heads instead of 1. I am going to flip and take a -100, so poor little guy's only going to deal 20. Feels really nice, and I can just heal that off immediately. Pretty funny deck. I am going to heal off all the damage he did with my Pokemon Center Lady and my Big Malaja, and look at the card art for the Big Malaja. It looks so yummy, doesn't it? It looks like it's just really satisfying to, like, bite into, and then see the innards kind of gush out a little bit. It just looks like a really nice food to, like, stick your finger in the middle and just swirl it around, and I think that feels really weird and kind of nice. And then you can, like, take your finger out and, like, lick off the icing or the cream or the jelly, whatever it is in there. It just looks like it'd be a really fun food to play with and to eat. Kind of wish it was real, but he is going to retreat his Guzzlord into his other Guzzlord, which is actually preferred. I much rather this, because this Guzzlord has the cape instead of the Rocky Helmet, and the cape does not matter at all. I wasn't hitting the 170 threshold anyway, so I much rather not take the 20 damage every time I hit him. Speaking of which, I do flip heads, so I just take 20 instead of 120, which is fantastic, which means I can just immediately heal off that damage. And I still have 2 Lilies in the back, which is fantastic. I am gonna Lono here just for funsies. It doesn't do anything because both of us are like completely out of our decks. I guess it does make you see Lillie more. It does like do another showcase. Like, look, you drew Lillie. Which form of Lillie do you prefer? Do you prefer her normal form or her Z-powered form? I'm partial towards her normal form. I really enjoy her elegance, you know? The sun hat and the frilly dress, and I really like long hair, and by God, Lillie has it, so... I'm definitely more of a fan of her normal form, but I don't mind the Z form at all. I think it's also a perfectly fine form. So, you know, Lillie's a pretty top-tier girl in general. I do finally miss a coin flip, and now things are down to the wire. If I miss a single coin flip here from now on, I just lose. So, really hope that doesn't happen. I do another 80 to the Guzzlord, so someone's gonna die next turn. It might be me, it might be him. Odds are it's gonna be me, but we'll see. I don't know what he's thinking about here. We do wait for a little bit. It's not like he really has a lot of options to go with, but he does finally attack me, and I get the heads! Thank you, Lillie! Thank you! I love your heads, Lillie. Oh, I love it when Lillie gives me heads. It's so great. So now I can just heal off all that damage with my last Lillie, but that doesn't bring me above Tyrannical Hole, so now it really is down to the wire. This next coin flip is going to completely determine the outcome of this game. Unless he brings in a Celesteela, but I can't see a future where he does that. So, and in fact, in a second, you'll see he is gonna bring in his Guzzlord, so turn 26. It all comes down to a single coin flip. If I get heads, I win. If I get tails, I lose. So after he heals up his Guzzlord with Nurse Joy for some reason, I don't know why he did that, we're fine. Maybe he just wanted to show off his sick card art, and that was a really nice full art of Nurse Joy. But anyway, it's all down to the final coin flip. So let's go gambling! Uh-oh, it's a bonus round. I'm going to end off the video with a personal favorite deck of mine. This is a Wishy-Washy EX deck, and I think Wishy-Washy is a very funny card. It's a very linear card as well. His whole gimmick is that he does more damage the more Wishy-Washys are on your bench, and if you have a full bench of Wishy-Washys, it reaches 150 damage, which is insane. Unfortunately, that does mean you pretty much have to only run Wishy-Washys. And non-EX Wishy-Washys don't really do anything. They have 30 health, so they die if you sneeze on them. And then Wishy-Washy EX takes quite a few turns to set up, but that's why I have Misty here. And what Misty does is you can use her card, and then you flip coins until you get tails. And the amount of heads you get, you can put that as energy onto your Pokemon. So Misty works really well with this deck. It does take a while to set up, and if you're unlucky with Misty or Wishy-Washy pulls, you can just not be doing anything for a long time. Thankfully, Wishy-Washy EX does have a humongo HP stat, which is really nice. It's just doing that damage takes a while to get to. When you don't have any Wishy-Washys, it does like pitiful amounts of damage. This deck is actually really similar to my Bastiodon deck, where I have my like win condition mons, and then I just have a bunch of healing items in the back. This deck is like Wishy-Washy, and then heal, and then like Misty. And that's it. It's really quite nice. And with Giant Cape, he reaches 190 health. That's really good. You can see this is a Darktina deck, and Wishy-Washy's max damage output is 150, so if I can reach that, I'm going to be one-hit KOing everything. which is pretty great. I can't actually attack next turn. I am going to use Misty, but unless I get a heads with Misty, I'm not going to be able to do anything. So here's hoping. Let's go gambling. Lillie gives me the head, and we are fine to go. I do have a Wishy-Washy in the back to put onto my bench, so this Nihilego is going to go down pretty quickly. I don't think he expected me to be able to do this right away, so probably should put that Dark Energy on your Darkrai, huh? I mean, 20 damage is nothing to my fish. It's fine. So now I just need to knock out one of his EXs. And if I get another Wishy-Washy during my next turn, I just win, which is really funny. Wishy-Washy is a deck where you kind of know if you're going to win or lose within like the first like 4 turns. It's really quite nice. Pokeballs are amazing on this deck because all the Wishy-Washys are basic, so it's really easy to call them. Professor's Research helps a lot. It even has a card called a Fishing Net, which means that if one of your Wishy-Washys gets knocked out, you can just bring it back. And because it's a basic, you don't need to set it up anymore. It can just be there on the bench to help your main Wishy-Washy deal more damage. I don't have my other Wishy-Washy. If I do, then I just win the game. So heart of the cards, baby, heart of the cards. And we get Pokeball, which is basically a Wishy-Washy, so... really quick bonus round, but I get my Wishy-Washy. I'm going to put him on the bench and then attack. Let's go. Let's see it. He just concedes. He concedes the second I put the Wishy-Washy. How long did that take? His finger was on the concede ball. I just want to see my fish attack. I just want to see my fish do... I'm going to time it. I'm going to time it. 2 seconds. That's like less than 2 seconds. That's insane.